The past 3 months, more than 6,500 newly proposed federal regulations have been added to the government website, regulations.gov. Well, a brand new regulation for truck drivers could mean things transported across the country are about to get more expensive for you, the consumer. The administration says the regulation is about making roadways safer, but a lot of truck drivers say they are arbitrary and motivated by nothing but politics. Let's talk with Thomas Miller and ask what he thinks. He's driven big rigs for close to 20 years and joins us live. Thomas, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's talk about these regulations. They're limiting the work week that you can work, taking off 12 hours that you would have been able to work before. It has rest periods, naps, all kinds of things in there. The administration says it's about making you safer. So what's the problem?
Well, you know, we've been under regulations that they put on us for approximately 9 years now. And the regulations that they proposed and enacted 9 years ago has made the trucking industry so much safer than it ever was before. Our accident frequency, our fatality rate, everything across the board has been declining year after year ever since they already put those regulations in place. And just to add these new regulations is really, it's kind of fixing a problem that wasn't really there in the first place. We've been getting safer every year, and I know myself as a driver, I plan to get safer every year going forward.
All right, I want to read a quote that comes from the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administrator, Ann Farrow. She says that they developed the rule based on the latest sleep science and sought input from all sectors, including small business owners, drivers, shippers, safety advocates, and trucking companies. I know for a lot of truckers that we've talked to about this, they say flexibility is an issue. You can't always control what weather you're going to hit and all kinds of things. So how would this regulation impact your ability to do your job?
Well, what it does is, you know, as a driver and just like any other individual out there, we know our bodies better than anybody. You know, we know when we need to take a break. We know when we're getting tired, you know, or fatigued, either one. And so, you know, it's important for us to have the flexibility to be able to say, I'm tired, I need to take a break. And with these new rules, they're coming forward and saying, you know, you have to take a break at this time in your day. And for a lot of drivers, it's just not possible. You know, the trucking industry is so diverse in our operations and the different, you know, the different trucking companies and the different aspects of the whole situation. We're all different. And quite honestly, the new rules that they've put in place, they've tried to do a one-size-fits-all rule, which just is almost impossible to do with this industry with as many different variations as we have out there. I applaud the FMCSA. I mean, I think they do a great job, you know, trying to come up with rules to make the industry safer and all the roads in America safer. It's just that this particular rule that they've came out with, I have a real hard time seeing it, you know, working out the way that they're saying it's going to.
One estimate says that this is going to cost businesses $11,000 per offense. If they get caught, drivers, it's going to be $2,750 if they get caught for each offense. And on top of that, just complying with this, a lot of businesses say it's going to take more rigs, more drivers to transport the same load that you would transport before the regulation. Who's going to pay all those extra costs?
Well, you know, essentially it's going to come down to consumers. It's going to come down to all Americans. You know, anytime you have a loss of productivity in the trucking industry, of course, you know, the shippers and receivers are going to be charged more for us to haul those loads because it is going to take more drivers and more trucks. And, you know, and if they get charged more, they're, of course, going to pass their costs along, you know, through the price of goods, you know, on the store shelves. So, you know, the taxpayers are the ones that's going to end up footing the bill on this in the long run. And quite honestly, for a rule that, you know, it really wasn't necessary, you know, like I said, we've been getting safer every year without this rule.
All right. Thomas Miller, driver extraordinaire. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.